My Toyota MRS has been a difficult project. This year, I started building it for wheel-to-wheel racing with Gridlife's GLTC series. Last week, we finally got to put it to the test, and though we knew it wouldn't be a very competitive car, I had no idea just how slow it would be.
The deficit of speed is so ridiculous.
Of course, people in the YouTube comments section have had very reasonable, very realistic, and honestly probably often well-meaning responses to the car being off-pace in its first race. And yet, the deranged masochist that I am, I have decided to continue trying to actually develop the car, instead of panicking, giving up and engine swapping it, or switching to a different chassis, or any of the other very level-headed recommendations that have been made. A million things can be done to make the car faster, but the whole build is based on the premise of having high horsepower for the class. Instead, we dynoed at Mid-Ohio with much less horsepower than we did a year ago. So step one for making the MRS faster is finding out why we're down on power.
Looking up your old dyno plot, which I can't find at the moment. And we can do a good comparison and see if you lost any power. Believe it or not, I did not file it under it. I filed it under bin lin. We want to verify the power numbers. I guess you had it on the dyno at the track and it was showing it was down on power. So we're going to take it, compare it against the baseline that we had previously and see if we lost any power or it's just a difference in the dynos. Holy smokes, man. Looks like you're down at least 22 horsepower, 23 horsepower, and 9 foot-pounds of torque. So you see this red line here, that is today. That's underneath everything that we did almost a year ago. So we need to figure out why that is happening. We're reading 7 horsepower higher than the GLTC dyno. What I'm looking at here is you made 190.1 horsepower and 175.5 foot-pounds of torque. So we're pretty close. I mean, there's some variance in between the two dynos, but nonetheless, we're down on horsepower and we need to figure out what's going on with it. You know what I'm thinking, right? Yeah, let's take a look at them. Quick tech tip, if you don't have a socket that can grab your spark plug, you use a hose, 3/8 hose, spin it out. There you go. So, they don't look too bad. I'm gonna try and gap them down and put them back and see how it goes. Oh, so what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna take my original map from about a year ago, load it up onto the car, make a pull, see where the results are. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, then we got some work to do. There's a 3-degree retard when that's enabled.
Over the course of the day, Jermaine explores theory after theory after theory to try and trace why we're down on power.
Is that 185? So they're all within. I think 10% is usually what is acceptable. So I think we're good on that. Still don't know. Checking the tumble generator valve, make sure it's open. You change the air filter at all since Man, it's still a tough one. I'm still not sure if that the air filter was the difference, but clearly it makes a difference in this situation. But the AFR is still way off. It's still a point off, even with the filter off of it. I'm leaning out the fuel table a little bit. I'm still not sure why it's running richer than it was before, which makes me worried because basically if I make these changes and then it goes back, it'll be too lean and it could hurt the engine. So that's my hesitance for making changes like this. All right, so we dropped the exhaust, thinking that possibly we have collapsed the inside of the muffler. So I'm gonna go back to our original map with the muffler disconnected and see if we pick up any power. Hopefully we do. She doesn't even want to make a pull like that. So I think with the muffler removed, it's too lean. It was so lean that I would have basically start retuning the whole map just to get it to run.
Okay. That's weird with the mass sensor. That really shouldn't lean out that much. Because the mass sensor should tell it the amount of air that's going in.
I'd agree with that.
What I saw at the track, though, is that the volumetric efficiency just wasn't, like, this motor normally runs way above 100% volumetric efficiency.
Yep.
That's how it makes its power, but it looked like it was only hitting like 95%.
Yep.
There's a major airflow problem somewhere. I don't think Ben's told me he's had an over-rev event, but, I mean, if anything has happened, this motor, when you over-rev it, does like to throw rockers.
Okay.
Which means some of your cylinders might be running on 3 valves. So the things we've established here as potential things is the spin-up rocker and collapsed exhaust flex, right? Did we say anything else that could be?
Nope, but that's only 2 things that really stuck out so far.
With 2 working theories, I head home and check both the valve train, which has thrown no rockers, and the exhaust, which is not clogged on either end. I still have no idea what is causing the loss of power, but we've already got a test day VIR booked and a date with a pro driver. We are at an open HPDE event, which is also serving as a test day for an upcoming endurance race, meaning that there will be a lot of other cars on track for our shakedown.
Dude, your diff is killing you. Like I have to be so patient. Like the rear will lift and you think the RPM is climbing because it's climbing, but it's not. I mean, I'm just lifting inside wheels. Like even in as slow of a corner as Oak Tree, it's just like right rear lift, spin, blow the tire off. So the next lap I had to take it super easy. But I mean, it's like, you have to be very careful with it and manage it very well because you can just burn the rear tires off.
We start with the setup on full soft so that Koby can have a clean suspension canvas to work from.
Go like 4 clicks in the front and see what that does.
And still soft in the rear.
And then like 2 clicks in the rear. Car feels much better after those changes. There we go, car feels good.
much of the tire. So it really destroys your exit. You have to be very, very patient. And I'm not very patient. You might want to just try this. Go 3 clicks front, 2 clicks rear and see what happens.
3 clicks stiffer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it feels so good. We're going the right direction with these Fortunatos. Feel good. All right, here we go. Let's try and get a left. I don't know what this guy's doing.
Other than the diff, which is very transparent, and I won't wear that subject out, it feels good and we're going in the right direction. It's just you have to be so patient on power down, which destroys you in a car that's this low power, because you want to be to power as soon as you possibly can. And when you go to it, the rear lifts a little bit, and then you just spin that inside tire right off. And so unfortunately, you either have to lift and let the car kind of bring itself back, or what I was doing was really just like counter steering back into it to set that tire down while lifting and then getting back on power, and it actually worked. So it takes some patience, but I mean, we're getting there. I mean, we're down to a 213.6.
Coby is reasonably happy with the suspension settings on the car, but to see if we can make the rear of the MR2 a bit more responsive, we add a little bit more damping stiffness to the Fortunatos, and I head out for my first testing session today. But as I quickly learn, we may have overshot the sweet spot on this setup.
Yeah, I think you're probably a little bit more like gentle with it.
Yes.
But like, I just don't have as much coordination as you, and I'm just upsetting the car everywhere. So it's like dancing like on corner entry, and then like, I had a big snap at the top of the S's, like big, like I was like, I need to calm down for a second. Yeah, and then the traffic is just insane.
We went quite a bit stiffer and made a big drastic change hoping it would help. We were testing a theory. The theory ended with you almost dying. So at least we know we were going the right direction. We went drastically the other direction, but that's what these days are for. We'll put you back to where I felt fairly comfortable. It's still little tail happy, but it's very manageable.
Yeah.
So if you watch your inputs, I think you'll be much happier with it and you'll go pretty darn fast.
With the setup reverted to how Koby liked it, which is incidentally identical to the suspension settings I ran at Mid-Ohio, I feel a bit more comfortable in the MR2, with the car feeling more predictable loaded up in a corner. In the meantime, Koby has another team he's testing for today, in a car not too different from the MR2.
Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. If I need to point by, I'll just show point by out the other window. I forgot how good the visibility in these are.
During his test drive, Koby has some pretty complimentary, definitely not sarcastic comparisons to make between the Lotus and my Toyota.
Man, this feels just like the MR2. Basically identical.
It's easy to see professional drivers on TV and think, I could probably do that. This is the kind of comparison that brings into light the stark contrast. In my own car, Koby blitzed me on pace and consistency. Pros aren't just fast, they're fast immediately, in unknown and unfavorable conditions. Even in a car that's fairly tricky to drive, Koby was able to quickly find the limit, something that just takes me a lot longer. And he was able to do it without much drama. By comparison, I'm a drama queen. We have a benchmark to compare Koby's 213.6 against. A Corvette from GLTC ran a 208.9 a few weeks earlier here at VIR. So with Koby driving, who's several seconds faster than me, the car is about 4 seconds off pace, which makes sense.
At Lime Rock, I mean, we may make tiny adjustments, but I think
It's just so slow.
it is, you're way off pace, but it's all right. Like, sorry, the car is, not you.
Yeah.
You're bringing a knife to a gunfight, unfortunately, buddy. But, I mean, you're doing great with your knife.
There are just a few more things to do with the MRS before our race at Lime Rock. First, in case we get rain at the race, and because I love Advans, I got a set of Continental Extreme Contact Sport 02s, the rain tire of choice for GLTC. And then, finally, I got a livery on the MR2. I had the livery covered in all the stuff that makes me think of the car, and if you have a chance to see it in person, give it a close look and find your favorite phrase.
Hey, make sure we do the we'll do the drift camera for them. Yeah. Isn't this how drifters drive, like this?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sick. Oh no, I just knocked something off. What's that? Huh? I got too carried away. Is that the clutch pedal?
Yes, it is, dude. Oh my god. What the hell?
I was barely tapping it.